watching WGS-TV.
You have warped your way into another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Boy Boudreaux, and guys and gals, it's going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of March 30th, 2015, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. And guys and gals, it's safe to say that now the Monday Night Raws after WrestleMania are starting to develop a reputation of sorts of being an out-of-control, crazy type of a show. Basically, almost the type of a show that some fans would like to have seen on WrestleMania. Now, let me go ahead and, before I go any further, let me go ahead and introduce the panel for this week's Monday Night Raw review. First off, ladies and gentlemen, he's a hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rick Head. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Billy. And after last night's Raw, wow, what a show.
Our resident music mogul is here from YouTube.com/Lance Moss TV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
Pretty good, and if they can keep this up, I have hope for WWE.
And ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Who That Temple here on YouTube is here, James from the Big Easy. James, how you doing?
AJ's gonna hug you. AJ's gonna hug you.
And I would let her. Then again, I don't know any.
And you will get beat up by
every red-blooded American male would love a hug from Bayley. I don't care what orientation you are. Bayley, from what I heard, Bayley's hugs are the best. Anyway, guys and gals.
Bayley, AJ is the same person. But
anyway, guys and gals, right off the bat, we would get Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman going out there to contest their rematch clause. They wanted to invoke it. They wanted to do it right then and now, and much to the delight of the post-WrestleMania crowd. But then again, the post-WrestleMania crowd has always been kind of crazy. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Then again, no, I don't. Yeah, the crowd was about 100% pro Lesnar and 85% Seth Rollins at first, and then 0% Stephanie McMahon when she went out there to make the announcement that he was doing an interview on the Today Show, but he was still en route and that he was going to be on his way, and that he would pretty sure get his rematch clause rematch later in the evening. But I got to say this though, first match of the night, Intercontinental Championship, Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Rick, surefire way to not only start a show, but main event it at any day, any time with these two guys.
You know what, absolutely. I really have to say I like the way this match started, the way the match ended. You know, as you said earlier, the way the Raw after WrestleMania sure is gaining a reputation for itself, and it hasn't let us down yet.
Now, Daniel Bryan would hit the running knee on Dolph Ziggler to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Bad News Barrett, who's been on commentary and was pretty damn good on commentary, by the way. And because that's the thing that one of the things I really do like about Bad News Barrett, he's got a certain style on the microphone that just makes him him, and he knows how to do it very, very well. And he would jump off of commentary after the match, start assaulting Daniel Bryan, and finally, we see the return of Sheamus with a ginger mohawk, Captain Lou Albano tied up rubber bands in his beard, and we think he was making the save for Bryan and Ziggler. Turned out to be a heel turn for Sheamus. And Rick, I was just sitting there looking at him like, first off, who told him that look was going to be good? And two, I guess maybe new look, new attitude.
You know what? The thing is, when I saw him come down, I'm like, you know what? He's going to be a heel. And Miss Jack shit was watching around me because he thinks so. I'm like, you watch. And I knew it because you look at the mohawk, you look at the tied-up tassels. That's, to me, screamed heel right from the get-go. And I'm like, yep. Uh-huh. And as much as I like to see the new attitude from Sheamus, it didn't shock me at all.
Yeah, I think maybe we could have done.
Stupid.
Yeah,
you look stupid.
let me ask you this question then. Do you think the heel turn maybe would have had more of an effect if he didn't have the ridiculous mohawk?
If he came down looking just like he regularly did, it would have been more shocking. But I think he needs this look to make the change, to make that impact.
Well, guys and gals, also the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania have always been the time to debut NXT talent on the main roster. And we had a lot of debuts. We had a few debuts, and we had one right here in the next match, the 8-man tag match. You had Tyson, Cesaro, and the Ascension taking on the New Day and the Lucha Dragons. Yes, Kalisto is now on the main roster. Sin Cara can now be considered relevant once again. But then again, I don't think he's ever really been considered relevant unless he was in NXT. I gotta say this, very impressed, and I kind of figured, Lance, with Kalisto finally on the main roster and the Lucha Dragon tag team now on the main roster, that they were going to give them, especially Kalisto, the push, and Kalisto did not disappoint in my opinion, Lance.
Most definitely. I mean, let's face it, apparently they are more in favor with creative than the Ascension are, because let's face it, they got buried like a corpse. The Ascension, I mean. And, funny thing I thought was pretty funny when New Day went the crowd went sucks.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, we thought we were going to have the title rematch between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins would refuse. Now, I went to a lot of the other people in the YWC. I wanted to hear their reaction, and a few of them, they're on the level. They understand the business. Some of them are like, oh, Seth Rollins should have been a man, should have stayed in the ring and took his beating like a man and give Brock Lesnar the champion. Those are what we call very, very markish remarks. Seth Rollins' job as a heel is to not give the fans what they want. Because if he gave the fans what they want, he wouldn't be a heel. He would be a face, and he would not be doing his job. His job as a heel is to screw over the fans, not give them what they want, and make them hate him more and more. That is a heel's job in the wrestling industry, is to get the fans to hate them. And yet about 75 to 80% of the other people in the YWC are like, oh, Seth Rollins should have been in there. You know, it's Brock Lesnar. We worship the ground he spits on. Brock Lesnar's the man. Brock. You know what? Screw you to everybody else. I don't know what you guys out there see in Brock Lesnar, but let me tell you this right now. I will never see what you guys see in a guy who can't cut his own damn promos and has a very limited moveset. But yet you guys want to judge other people, i.e. John Cena, and y'all think he has a very, very lackluster in the diversity department of his moveset, and yet y'all want to worship Brock Lesnar because he throws like 1,000 suplexes. Big fucking deal.
Suplex City, bitch!
Yeah, and I responded to that on Facebook by saying more like stale, boring city, as far as I'm concerned. Brock Lesnar would then attack everybody, and I will give this the one moment that I actually like Brock Lesnar, when he F5'd Michael Cole. That is the only time I actually liked Brock Lesnar, and the only F5 I will ever like is when he did that to Michael Cole. Pretty much just obliterated the announce team. I got to feel bad for that poor.
That's him out of his shoes.
And not only that, I feel bad for that poor local talent that was portraying a cameraman last night on Monday Night Raw, taking not one but two F5s from Brock Lesnar. Stephanie McMahon will come out and then indefinitely suspend Brock Lesnar for his actions. And let's just see, as we said in the onset of this review, the Monday Night Raws after WrestleMania have the reputation for being quite the conundrum, quite the insanity. And so far on Monday Night Raw, it has not disappointed. Now, Byron Saxton would come out and, having, very, very limited play-by-play experience before, I think it was a good thing that halfway through the rest of the show that they brought out Jerry the King Lawler to work with them on commentary. I'm not going to fault Byron Saxton for that. You know, with commentary, it's kind of like riding a bike. You have to have experience doing it. When you have the experience doing it, when you're comfortable doing it, then you turn into a really good commentator. Byron Saxton's turning into a good color guy, but I've never really heard him do anything that I can sufficiently call good play-by-play skills. But they had Lawler working out there with him, and Lawler we know is a pro. So I really can't fault with that. So let's move on from all that chaos. Damien Mizdow and Stardust. Very quick match. Mizdow would hit the skull-crushing finale, and then out would come Miz and would hit the skull-crushing finale on Mizdow. And I guess, James, it would be safe to say that the feud has officially begun?
Yeah, really. I mean, how they slowly built it up before Mania, and to the point that you had Mizdow eliminate Miz at WrestleMania for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, kind of brings up, okay, yeah, Miz is going to get his revenge, and so now he's going to do whatever, he's fired the guy now, and Mizdow's on his own, and, the feud starts.
Curtis Axel would be out there next, saying that even though Axelmania might be over, but they could still look forward to Axtreme rules. So is that what we're going to be seeing now out of Curtis Axel now, trying to find some sort of pun, some sort of variation of his name to input into the upcoming pay-per-views? First off, it was Axelmania, now Axtreme rules.
God, I hope not.
But here's the thing, Rick, that I really, really enjoyed. And I know that you just started getting into NXT yourself, and we're kind of familiar with this guy that made his debut on the main roster, Adrian Neville. Now, I got to say this, the new look.
Oh, yeah.
I love the pyro. The addition of the pyro to his entrance was really good. What I don't like is apparently now WWE does not believe in the adage of first names. He wasn't out there as Adrian Neville. He was just out there as Neville.
Well, I think that the WWE wants to kind of shorten things. They've done that with a lot of the wrestlers, and I don't really see anything wrong with it. I mean, we all know he's Adrian Neville. They want to just call him Neville. And I think it kind of simplifies them, makes them kind of more characteristic. When you give him the Adrian Neville, it makes him more as a person. When you call him just one person, it makes him more superficial, so to speak. And I guess that's what they're trying to do. And it's understandable. But when you look – anyways, we'll still call him Adrian Neville for this show anyways. Maybe as we go on, we'll get your grow on that name. But as I said, Ms. Jack was watching, I'm like, you watch this guy. And she was greatly impressed with him. And I was, as always, I'm always impressed with great Adrian Neville. And he did not fail to impress me. Incredible match. On Adrian Neville's part, of course.
Yeah, James, I know that you followed NXT a lot longer than any of us here on the review this week. What was your reactions to the debut of Neville on the main roster?
It kind of brings in, he's a great competitor, high-flying, and that's what you want to see now in WWE. It's like he has this great high-flying thing. I'm just more afraid that he might be more mid-carder, which I think he will be, because I don't see him up there as main event status as he was in NXT.
I really hope that's not the case, because we all seen how talented he is in the ring. He's an amazing talent, and the last thing I want to see happen to him is for him to get the Justin Gabriel treatment. Be labeled immediately mid-carder and go nowhere.
If I may answer that, you know what? Neville, regardless how good or how bad he could be, he's not going to jump right to the top.
Exactly.
He has to prove his worth in the WWE. He's in the big times now, so he's going to say, "Hey, look," he's going to start where he is, and it's not going to take months. It's going to take years for him to get where he's at. He may get, an Intercontinental title, maybe even a U.S. title reign, but that world title, he ain't getting that anytime soon. That's just the way it is.
But the thing to keep in mind is he still does have an impressive reputation and an impressive track record in the past. And looking back on that and what he could contribute to the main roster really leaves me a little excited to see what they do with him. John Cena would have an open challenge for the United States Championship. And I still don't understand why the fans just don't want to give this guy a chance. The guy's John Cena was probably one of the best workers on the mic. He does all kinds of charitable work. Lance, I know you hate him. I know you do. But you have your own valid reasons for hating him, and I respect that. But you also, a lot of people out there who listen to us here on YouTube apparently think that only kids are supposed to like John Cena, but I have my own valid reasons, and I have for liking John Cena, and if you guys have already heard in the past, I have my very valid reasons for hating Brock Lesnar. But we're going to go on off of that. John Cena, Dean Ambrose would step up to the plate in this United States Championship match. And Lance, you got to give the devil his due, even though you don't like him. That was a hell of a match.
Well, there's a big difference between hate and can't stand him. Sometimes Cena can pull, when he's with certain talent, he can step up, but other times, not so much. Because my reasons for those who don't know, I just don't believe a gimmick change is when you just change the color of your gear.
Well, yeah, I gotta agree with you, but but the thing is, he's probably one of the number one merch pushers in WWE. When you look at John Cena, you also got to factor in, from a business standpoint, the dollar signs that surround John Cena, because he can push
Absolutely.
merch like anything. And if WWE wants to take away that, because all the fans want WWE to take that away, that's just like saying, hey, WWE, we don't want you to make money anymore. Turn John Cena heel.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I think a lot of people. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think people realize is just because he changes his shirts, he's not changing his gimmick. His gimmick has been the same since pretty much, I won't say day one, since he's become the face that he's been known as.
Yeah, they need to realize when he go ahead.
All he's doing is changing new shirts for new merch. The face, the character that he is the character he's been for years.
Well, I will say this, though. I like the little Johnny Cash remark he made at the opening. And now John Cena would win, retain the title with the AA. And again, I don't know why I'm even addressing the other members of the YWC when they say something like this, but it was all over social media, all over YouTube. John Cena buried Dean Ambrose. Okay, my definition of buried in the wrestling industry says for someone to be buried, they have to be completely dominated throughout the match. The other person can have zero offense, has to take all of the bumps, and take the loss. So how do you guys out there view that? View the amazing match that John Cena had with Dean Ambrose and legitimately say, John Cena buried Dean Ambrose? I don't get it. I just don't understand it. How is that amazing match considered Dean Ambrose being buried by John Cena? I just don't. I'm pretty sure Ecstasy 69, you're going to be listening to this, and I'm pretty sure that you'll probably come up with a cockamamie reason as to why you honestly believe Dean Ambrose just got buried by John Cena. But anyway.
That's a way to connect with your listeners.
Well, Ecstasy 69 is always on my case for being a Brock Lesnar hater. Anyway, up next, Diva Time, AJ Lee, Paige, and Naomi taking on Natalya and the Bella Twins. James, this is your area of expertise. Why did we have to have this match?
I knew you were going to come to me. I knew you was going to come to me. Very interesting match, let's say that. Oh, yeah, if you misheard the crowd, they didn't do the John Cena sucks, but in that tone, it was the Bella sucks. The Bella sucks here. Anyway, moving on. This is a very interesting Divas match. Nothing too impressive, as Rick said on his Facebook page, but it's overall a good match. Naomi gets the win, but I think they adding a little tension between the Bellas because of the accidental hitting.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Now, Randy Orton would show up backstage, and apparently it would be a big setup to a 6-man tag, Seth Rollins, Big Show, and Kane, and Randy Orton was still on the hunt for tag team partners. Now, at that point, Ryback had volunteered his services because he hates the Authority, but it was still technically 3-on-2. He wouldn't find out until the actual main event who the third person, if there was going to be. Rusev and Goldust. Why? Time filler. Lance, that's all I can say about it. It was just a time filler.
Pretty much.
I mean, what was the point? What was the point? None. And did we see Lana out there? No. So that makes Rusev's gimmick intolerable. Main event time on Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton and Ryback, for the way it looked, would be in a 2-on-3 handicap match against Seth Rollins, Kane, and the Big Show. And out comes, much to the huge dismay of that San Jose crowd, Roman Reigns. And apparently, and it's something I don't understand. Before Roman Reigns' injury, before SummerSlam, this dude was like one of the most popular guys in WWE, getting up to that point of Daniel Bryan. He goes down to injury, he comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, and everybody wants to kill the dude. I don't understand it.
If you've not realized yet that we, as wrestling fans, and that includes you, Billy, are fickle. And then we can switch, flip-flop very, very quickly. 1 minute, we're not thinking about a wrestler, and then overnight, we're going to say, that guy's going to be a world champion. And, it can be anybody. I mean, would we have thought this time last year that, or even a year and a half ago when he was with the Shield, that Roman Reigns was going to be close to fighting Brock Lesnar for the world championship? No. Would we have thought that Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins would have won the championship? No. The point is that's how fickle we are as, and how things can change. And we have to accept that, and how quickly the minds of the IWC changes. So we just have to let that go. And as a reporter and a wrestling fan, I've just said, you know what? Hey, Hakuna Matata, you want to change your minds, guys? Fine. I know what my mind is.
Roman Reigns would end up hitting the spear. I believe it was on Big Show, if I'm not mistaken, to pick up the win for his tag team. And now there were a couple of things that WWE was trying to get the fans to do. One, after Monday Night Raw, it was the Hall of Fame presentation on the USA Network. But the bigger thing was on the WWE Network, Sting's post-WrestleMania comments. Now, what does the future hold for the Stinger? I want, and all the fans out there were screaming, Sting versus Undertaker, Sting versus Undertaker. Here's why I believe that match will never happen. It's something that's called, in the anime business, I don't know if James, you probably might know a little bit about what I'm talking about, fan service. You'd be giving the fans want to see Sting versus Undertaker so badly that WWE will probably do what I like to call dangle the carrot, tease the fans about it, and then yank the carrot back and say, no, we're not going to do this. I really don't think WWE will be inclined to do any type of a fan service, because honestly, who would really benefit from a Sting versus Undertaker match? I don't think, James, in my opinion, I don't think anyone would.
Really, yeah, because really, after you see WrestleMania, I feel like Undertaker doesn't have it much to compete anymore. I mean, Yeah, it was an okay match. It was kind of better than last year's, but the fact of the matter is, I don't know if Taker can hold on to compete for one more match. He's up there in age. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys and gals, it's now time to go on our overall scores on our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. And like we said again at the onset of this review, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania having the reputation for being an insane, crazy type of a show where we see debuts and things go crazy. Best segment of the night, Michael Cole taking an F5 from Brock Lesnar. That'll be the only time in this existence would I ever put Brock Lesnar in the category of having the best segment. Worst segment of the night? I really don't know what to say other than the fact that, and I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, the fans. The fans were absolutely nuts. They were trying to take over the show. They're supposed to be there to enjoy a show, not be the show. And I feel like a broken record because I remember saying this last year and the year before. And yet, I really don't know what to say, but that's just been my point of view. It's just my point of view that fans should be there to watch and entertain and have a good time, not take over the show and change the name of the show from Monday Night Raw to Monday Night Fans. But then again, that's just my opinion. 3.5 out of 5 on this week's Monday Night Raw. Rick, over to you, your score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week.
Well, you know what? I'm going to disagree with you about the fans. I think the fans are just having a good time and nothing less and nothing more, and that's all it was. And I think you sometimes read too much into that. But that's just my opinion. As far as my best segment, I'm going to go with the debut of Neville and the Lucha Dragons. I say bravo to them to finally making up to the big time. And that was for me. I marked out for both of them. The worst segment, I got to go for the Divas match. I wasn't really impressed with that. And that was pretty much it. And I do got to go say for one thing, I think this is the most we've seen Brock Lesnar in like crazy, so that's about it. My overall score, I'll give it a 3.75 out of 5. It was, good Raw.
As much as I don't like the guy, I think the fact that they were going to have this big thing where Brock Lesnar finally wrestles on a Monday Night Raw after 11 years? They said that. I think that would have been a big moment for Monday Night Raw, but they didn't go that route. Anyway, Lance, over to you.
No, I think Ross. I think that was Brock saying, "Fuck you, I don't want to wrestle. Just suspend me. It's okay. I don't want the title."
Yeah, Lance, over to you. Your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week.
Well, this had everything you come to expect from a Raw after Mania. So overall, I got to give it a 4. I mean, you had the call-ups of Lucha Dragons. You had Eat, Sleep, Kill the Announce Team, Repeat. Then you had the best match has to be the Intercontinental title match first. Worst, I'll give it to Goldust and Rusev because at least with the Divas, I saw sort of a point to having the match.
Okay. And finally, we're going to go to James, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
I'm going to clarify the ending of the main event. It was Roman Reigns hitting the spear on Kane after Randy Orton hit the RKO on Kane. So it's Kane that got beaten, not Big Show. Big Show got beat up by Ryback. Overall score, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Being at a Raw after Mania, it's always a fun experience because, it's the international crowd. As I said, I was at the Raw after Mania last year, and it was fun. It was entertaining. I mean, yeah, you're going to have the annoying chants, but at the same time, it's like, they're entertaining the crowd. That's what they do. As fans, if you don't have a crowd that reacts to such stuff and it's a dead crowd, it won't be a fun show. Because you know how we complain about that one Raw that the crowd was so dead, or that one pay-per-view that was like the crowd was so dead. You had this one, like, you complain about this because they're chanting a lot of stuff, and the fact that Seth Rollins, when they did the CM Punk chants, did this whole suck it thing. It's like,
yeah, I forgot to bring that up myself.
Yeah, but it's the crowd. You know, this is what makes the Raw after Mania entertaining. Is the crowd. I mean, yeah, they get annoying at points in time, like doing the whole damn wave. But, you know, they're having a fun time at Raw, damn it. Let them have their fun time. It's international crowd. Best match. The best match, I would give it to the Intercontinental Championship match. That was a great match. Even though that ending with Sheamus, yeah. The worst has to go to Ryback and not Ryback, Rusev and Goldust as point of why. As Lance said, really the reason why he had the Divas match was because, you know, Natalya still have a beef with Naomi and the Bellas still have a beef with AJ and Paige, so might as well combine those two of 3 of 6 actually. You know, have a tag team match and then maybe put some tensions into the Bellas. My best segment, I have one best segment. That inspirational Scorpion Death Drop. Last day. It was so inspirational. He got me.
And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and amend my worst segment of the night. I'm going to take it off the fans. I'm going to give it to Sheamus' hairstylist. Anyway, guys and gals, what we want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? We definitely want to know what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Where can fans check you out on HWR?
Well, of course, you can always find me over at my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And if you ever want to listen to any of our podcasts, please check us out on youtube.com/HWR Show. And Billy, before you jump over, I do have some interesting information. Apparently somebody has a picture of Sting and Undertaker talking at the airport after WrestleMania 31.
That could have been just an encounter, you know, a casual encounter. They were just exchanging some talking maybe.
That's what it looked like, yeah. But
but I know a lot of the other insane members of the IWC were probably thinking, oh, they're going to do the match. They're going to do the match. That's probably how they're going to take it. Anyway, Lance, what can fans expect to see?
They do it like how Pacquiao and Mayweather did when they were at the Heat game.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, Lance, where can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck woman cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, the archives of controversies and scandals from Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and also check me out on Twitter. It's at LanceMossTV.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, he will currently deny any allegations of styling Sheamus' hair with hamburger meat. It's James from the Big Easy. James, where can fans check you out?
You can check me out at twitch.tv/FatBoy504, do PS4 gameplay. Twitter.com @FatBoy504, and on YouTube.com. That's youtube.com/JTD70129, where I will put up my review for WrestleMania with a few people. So, yeah.
WGS-TV is on social media, on Facebook, facebook.com/WGS-TV, on Twitter at TheWrestleGamer, and Instagram at TheWrestleGamer. And if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer for more content like this and all of my Let's Plays, which you can check out in the annotations at the end of this video, and the links will be in the description box below. So with that being said, for the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rick Kidd, the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, and James from the Big Easy, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, Billy Boudreaux, saying we'll see ya at the next Warp Zone.
Howdy doody! And if I offended anyone by that, I do apologize.